Hello students, once again welcome to my channel. In this video, I will share the production function chapter of economics part 2, diagrammatic representation of TP, AP and MP curve, three stages of production. In which stage will the producer decide to produce? So we will discuss these three in part 2. In part 1, I have already explained you how to derive the total product, average product and marginal product. So you can refer to part 1 video for that. So here we have the table, but here I will explain you the relationship between TP, AP and MP. So TP is total product, AP is average product and MP is marginal product. So here we have the table. In first column we have number of laborers employed. In second we have TP, third we have AP and fourth we have MP. Here we are considering capital, that is machines used to be a fixed factor. Here we consider only labor to be the variable factor. So from the table we can see that as the amount of labor employed increases, total output, see here, amount of labor employed is increasing from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So total output is increasing till 8 unit of labor. So here till 8 unit of labor, total output is increasing till 880. So what we can see, initially total product is increasing at an increasing rate. How do we know total product is increasing at an increasing rate? In order to see that whether total product is increasing at an increasing rate or decreasing rate, we will refer to MP column. Here we can see MP, that is change in total output because of increase in 1 unit of labor, is rising. That is MP is rising from 100 to 120, 140, 160. So till 4th unit of labor, MP is rising because change in total output is increasing, so MP is increasing. So till 4th unit of labor, TP is increasing at an increasing rate from 100 to 220 to 360 to 520 to 650. Then from the 5th unit of labor, we can see TP is increasing, but it is increasing at a decreasing rate. How do we know? See here, MP has started decreasing from 160 to 130, right? So MP reaches maximum at 4th unit of labor and thereafter it starts decreasing beyond the employment of 4th unit of labor. So rate of increasing TP has decreased and MP has started decreasing. And TP reaches maximum at this point, right? And since it reaches maximum at this point at 8th unit of labor, so beyond 8th unit of labor, if number of workers employed is increasing, TP remains constant. Since TP remains constant, what happened? MP becomes 0. Why? 880 minus 880 becomes 0. So here MP is 0. So initially MP is increasing, thereafter it has started decreasing, then 0. And then after this point, after 9th unit of labor, that is when 10th unit of labor is employed, TP has started decreasing. So TP is maximum at this point, then it has started decreasing. So when TP has started decreasing, we can see 830 minus 880 is what? Minus 50. So MP has started decreasing, right? So initially total product increases at an increasing rate, right? Till 4th unit of labor. Then total product increases at a decreasing rate in this part. Then TP is maximum and then TP starts decreasing. So here we can say MP is increasing, thereafter it is decreasing, becomes 0 and then becomes negative. Now let us come to the third column, that is AP column. So AP is rising till 4th unit of labor, till this it is 130. AP is constant at 5th unit of labor. See here it is constant. Thereafter it has started decreasing. It is not zero, it is not negative, it has started decreasing, right? For your convenience, I have written here, when TP increases at an increasing rate, MP increases. So till this point, till 4th unit of labor, MP increases. TP increases at a diminishing rate, MP declines. When TP reaches its maximum, MP becomes 0. And when TP begins to decline, here MP becomes negative. Now when MP is greater than AP is rising till 4th unit of labor. Now we can see the relationship between MP and AP. So here we can see MP is greater than AP, 120 is greater than 110, 140 is greater than 120. So here AP is rising till fourth unit of labor. See here, till fourth unit of labor it is 130. And when MP is equals to AP at fifth unit of labor, 130, 130, AP is constant, right? And when MP is less than APC, 100 is less than 125, 90 is less than 120. So AP has started decreasing when MP is less than AP. So I have written the relationship here. Now we come to the diagrammatic representation of TP, AP and MP curves. Now first look at the TP curve. TP increases at an increasing rate up to point M. So you will draw like this because TP is increasing at an increasing rate, right? Thereafter TP is increasing at a decreasing rate. You start drawing like this. TP reaches maximum at point T, and after T, TP has started decreasing, right? So coming to how you will start drawing. First, you will draw the vertical axis on the upper panel. This is the vertical, and in the lower panel. So the lower panel will be exactly below the upper panel. Lower panel vertical axis will be exactly below this thing. This vertical line will not be either left or right to the this vertical axis. It will be exactly below. You can take a scale and draw a straight line, leaving a gap in between. Right? On the upper panel vertical axis, we measure TP. On the lower panel vertical axis, we measure AP and MP. Right? And on the horizontal axis, on both the panels, we measure labor employed and we denote it as L, right? So first you will draw the TP curve on the upper panel. I've said you, first it is increasing, then it is increasing at a decreasing rate, reaches maximum and then it decreases, right? Now next step, what you will do is, you will draw a dotted tangent at point M here. At point M, you will draw a dotted tangent. Okay, so the point at which you draw a tangent, you will label it as M, right? Now you will draw a vertical line. You can draw a vertical line touching the lower panel horizontal axis, right? So this point is the maximum MP point, right? MP point on the lower panel, because we see till here MP is maximum. So this point corresponding to L1 units of labor, we get maximum MP, right? Now from origin you will draw, from this origin you will draw a dotted straight line touching the TP curve. So the point at which it is touching the TP curve, label it as A. So this is we get as corresponding to L2 units of labor. Okay, this gives us maximum AP. Now draw a dotted line from this A curve, right? The point at which the dotted line from the origin and TP curve intersects, this is point A. Now draw a vertical line which gives us maximum AP point. See, this is the maximum AP point, right? Now last you draw a tangent at maximum TP. So this is maximum TP because after this it starts decreasing, right? So this is maximum TP and maximum TP corresponds to 0 MP on lower panel. Here we have the lower panel, right? So this is 0 MP. Now what we will do, we will draw the MP curve. So we have drawn the TP curve, we have drawn the tangents, and then we have drawn the vertical lines on the till the this touching the horizontal axis on the lower panel, right? Now draw MP. So here this is the maximum of MP, right? So first you will draw a curve like this, right? And you will make the MP curve maximum at point M here, right? And thereafter it will start decreasing, right? And here when we know, we get this point touching the vertical axis, horizontal axis. Here TP was maximum, so MP becomes 0. So you will draw in this way so that it comes here, touching this line, right? Then it becomes negative, right? Now we will draw the AP curve. See, AP is rising till L2 units of labor. Draw from the origin. You make sure that AP is rising till L2 units of labor, right? See here, AP is rising and thereafter it starts decreasing. And we see that MP equals AP when AP is maximum, right? So what you will do, first you will draw the vertical axis, horizontal axis, right? And then you will draw the TP curve, as I've said you. Now draw M, A, and T. Get the points M, A, and T. M corresponds to maximum MP, maximum MP. A corresponds to maximum AP, and T corresponds to MP is 0, right? Then you draw three vertical lines, and accordingly draw that MP and AP curves. Once you practice, it will become more clear. So we can see when MP curve lies above AP curve. See here, this is the MP curve. So when MP curve is lying above AP curve is positively sloped till L2 units of labor. Because MP is above AP. Can you see the curve? See, MP curve is above the AP. So AP is positively sloped. When MP intersects AP at this point, AP is at maximum, right? And when MP lies below AP, see now MP is below AP. AP is above MP. So MP is below AP. AP is sloping downwards. So you have to keep these things in your mind when you're drawing it. Once you practice more, you will be able to draw it very nicely in the exam. Now we come to the 3 stages of production. Now, first stage, it starts from the origin, right? And it continues till AP is maximum. See here, till here, AP is maximum. So first stage continues till L2 units of labor, right? Till AP is maximum. In stage 1, what happens? AP is increasing throughout, right? TP is increasing throughout, right? But TP is increasing at an increasing rate till M, and then it is increasing at a decreasing rate between M and A. So in stage 1, we have TP increasing throughout, but initially it increases at increasing rate to point M, and then it increases at a diminishing rate between M and A, right? So slope of TP curve increases first up to M, and then after slope decreases after M, right? So stage 1, we have, and AP is rising to stage 1. See, it is rising in stage 1, right? TP is increasing throughout, but TP is increasing at an increasing rate up to M, and then after it increases at a diminishing rate. AP is increasing as MP is increasing up to point M, and then after it decreases. So here I have written this for your convenience. You can refer to this. MP rises first, reaches maximum at point M in stage 1, and thereafter it starts decreasing. But MP is positive. You should keep this thing in your mind. Even in stage 1, MP is decreasing, but it is positive because at this point, after this point, MP becomes negative. So MP has positive slope up to point M, and then MP has negative slope, and AP is rising throughout. Now we come to stage 2. TP is increasing, but it is increasing at a decreasing rate. So you can see this. TP is increasing, but it is increasing at a decreasing rate. And TP reaches maximum at point T. Here MP and AP both are diminishing but are positive. See, MP and AP both are diminishing. See here, this stage to this part. They both are decreasing. Even this is decreasing, even this is decreasing. And this stage ends when MP is 0, corresponding to maximum TP at a point. So when does this stage end? Till L3 units of labor. So at this point, it is maximum TP and MP is 0. Now we come to stage 3. Here TP has started decreasing because this is stage 3, right? This part. Here MP is negative because TP has started decreasing, but AP is positive. It will not touch the horizontal axis. When you're drawing it in the exam, make sure AP does not touch the horizontal axis, right? So AP is positive, MP is negative, and TP has started decreasing. This stage operates when more than L3 workers are employed. So beyond L3, we get stage 3. Now, in which stage will the producer produce? In which stage will the producer decide to produce? A rational producer would not operate in stage 3 as MP is negative. Here we see MP is negative because TP is decreasing. Why would a firm spend in employing additional worker if it results in decrease in total output? So the producer will never operate in stage 3 because it will result in decrease in total output when laborers employed are increasing. So stage 3 is eliminated, right? Now a rational producer will not like to operate in stage 1 as well. Why? Because AP is increasing. So AP of variable factor, see here AP is increasing. So AP is increasing throughout, right? So the firm will employ more of variable factor because by employing more units of labor, AP will increase. And if AP increases, producer's profit will also increase. So in stage 1, the producer will not operate because he can still increase his total profit by employing more units of labor. So by the process of elimination, we conclude that a rational producer will produce in stage 2. So the producer will operate in stage 2, right? Thank you for watching my video. If you like my video, do subscribe and don't forget to press the bell icon. Bye bye. Have a great time.